What you need to do is be thankful for the life you got, you know what I'm saying?
They send pressure. Mayfield evades. In trouble. Stiff arm. Throws. How did he do it in the first down?
Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is caught. It's a miracle. It's celebrated. Oh, my goodness. This town is going crazy.
Protected. Another completion. Another short one. Bouncing off the tackle is Montgomery. What a catch and run. Still going.
Good morning, you beautiful people. It is Saturday, October 18th, 2025. I am Cory, joined as always by Lucas, who is currently tripping on some pre-workout. How are you doing this morning?
I don't think we've done this on a Saturday before. Got out of our routine. You had a nice Friday. This is a nice national park out in Colorado, so I'm a little bit jealous there. You had a good excuse to not be here last night.
Yeah, you're right. We got out of routine. We missed our normal Friday show, so apologies to everyone who was expecting to watch that show. But as Lucas said, I did head out to Estes Park yesterday with the family and went into Rocky Mountain National Forest. Caught some luck there, actually, and they let us in for free, which was kind of strange. I don't know why. Normally it's a $30 entrance free, but we went in the park, drove around. My parents loved it. It had a really good time. And, I told them the real reason I kind of wanted to go up there was to see the elk. It's still rut. It's kind of the end, but it's still there. And I knew they'd be in town because I'd been to Estes, 2 or 3 times before. And they're always in town near the end of the day. They come down from the mountain. It's a bit warmer in the valley there. And sure shit, as we come out of the park, we ate supper and then we were heading out of town and they were just there hanging out on a golf course. So we pulled over and what a magical moment. They're a cool animal and I love their bugles. So yeah, really, really cool experience. Other than that, yeah, had a great Friday. How was yours?
Well, Miami money line, Miami, Florida money line. I got Miami, Ohio money line today. Got to stick with the MAC.
Yeah. We got home pretty late, so really only caught the end of those games. And I saw Miami
football games last night.
Yeah, it was a tight one. Obviously, for those who didn't watch, Louisville won. Obviously, that was a pretty big upset. They were at home too, so not a good loss for them, to be honest. I mean, Louisville's all right. They're still kind of in that hunt for probably going to the ACC championship game, but not a good loss regardless. The other, if Indiana does their thing, you'll probably see them move up to 2. Indiana slip maybe down to 4. The other one was Nebraska being Nebraska, takes another L. So, man.
A lot going on behind the scenes in Nebraska.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we can talk about that a little bit.
People said.
Yeah.
Some rumors the past week.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, involving my Iowa State Cyclones as well and Matt Campbell and the potential job opening.
Well, I didn't hear that one, but that could be interesting.
Yeah. I don't want to be sad, but it may happen. So
I'm ready for this football weekend. Got a few really good games tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today too, but
obviously
take away the college.
Obviously, we got some good games coming up here in about 30 minutes. College football play gets kicked off, so let's just jump right into it for the people and kind of talk about some bigger games that I'm watching and some spots I've circled. I really don't have too many college football plays locked in just yet, other than I did tweet out a lotto. So lock that in. Use your DraftKings boost there. Let's board the rocket ship and head to Mars together. I normally hit about one of these a year. They're around plus 9,000. It's a pretty good feeling when you smack it. So, but other than that, being that we were in Estes yesterday, I didn't have a lot of time to lock in plays. So you know, what are maybe just to kind of right off the clip here, what are some games that you're looking forward to watching if you haven't really bet them yet?
So we talked about it, I think probably in August, about college football. I haven't been very good in college football and been in Big Ten, SEC, the bigger games with the MAC. I've had a lot of success on the MAC.
Yep.
So I'm sticking with the MAC.
Yeah. I know you said you
Got
locked
one
in
MAC play
Miami.
today.
I know you said you locked in Miami of Ohio. That was a parlay, right?
Little plus money parlay. A
Yeah.
little bit of a builder, but
Go ahead and just give that for the people, so we'll get the action out of the way.
we got a couple games kicking off about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Miami, Ohio money line. Really, I think they cover that 12.5. They've got an excellent defense. The under's probably the play, but Miami of Ohio. I had Miami, Florida last night. Ohio's not going to let me down.
No. They're, in terms of MAC play teams, they're probably one of the more consistent teams up there with Toledo.
The 4 best MAC teams. I think
Yeah.
the 4 best MAC teams.
Yep.
Miami, Toledo, Buffalo, and Ohio.
Toledo. There's Toledo. You didn't lock. They weren't part of the parlay, though, right?
13.5.
Yeah.
For Toledo. Granted, they probably do cover that 24.5 also.
Yeah, Kent State's really bad for the people who don't know. They are.
Kent State beat a FBS team for the first time in 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Week.
Yeah, which is surprising given how bad Kent State is.
UMass.
Yeah. UMass is the worst FBS program.
Worse.
Yeah. Iowa actually played UMass earlier in the year, and they're,
yeah,
by all measures, the worst FBS program maybe ever. I don't want to go that far to, crap on them, but they're really bad. So
same thing with Buffalo against UMass. I think Buffalo covers, but I lowered them down. I watered it down, people say, to 5.5.
Yeah.
And Ohio money line against Northern Illinois. I think it's pretty clearly the 4 best teams in the MAC. I probably should just honestly parlay the regular spreads. I don't even think you have to water it down like that.
Yeah, but
those 4 teams, I think they're pretty clearly the 4 best teams in the MAC. There's definitely a disparity between the MAC. There has been in past seasons, but
we talk about that a lot, is that both you and I, when it comes to college football, water it down. It's just because you see way more 7 and up wins, 7-point wins in college football than you do in the NFL. And it doesn't take a genius. Just go look at the spreads on NFL games. When you see a double-digit game in the NFL, that's pretty rare. But, you can scroll through here and see all sorts of double-digit games or spreads, that happen, and the games finish that way. There's a giant disparity in how these teams finish. So, it's really hard to be super locked into a ton of games and playing their straight spreads, and those that can do it consistently, probably winning above 60%. Good on them. That is very difficult to do, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. I don't think too many people would agree with you, but I do. I think that every point matters in college.
Sure does.
Opposed to NFL.
Yeah.
So Virginia Tech last week, they were minus 15.5 against Georgia Tech. 15.5, usually that's not a significant number. Of course, they lose by 15.
Yeah.
Every single point matters in college. I don't think it's nearly the same in NFL as college.
Yeah, it's just
not
those
significant numbers, but
the difference is, that's a good point. The difference
one single point.
Yeah.
Not even key numbers.
Yeah, it's
same thing with college basketball, but so it's not the prettiest thing ever to water the plays down like you and I sometimes do with college, but every point really is significant.
It's just what the key numbers are in college are different than in NFL. Key numbers in NFL, you're obviously talking 3.5, 4.5. Now 4.5 almost never matters in college football, almost never. And that's also goes to the way that their overtime works. So where you get the ball and you get a chance to score. So if a game goes to overtime and you had 7.5, you may win right there because, well, if someone scores a touchdown, the other team doesn't. There you go. We'll get off that, though. We'll kind of just put some plays out here. Because I don't have too many plays locked in at this moment, I just want to talk about a few games that I've circled, and I'm going to probably put that I have in a parlay right now. So just off the rip, the one team that I do have, or the two teams that I do have, sorry, three teams I have in a parlay is I have Tulane money line. Army's really bad. I mean, it's a service academy. It's what's there really to say? The one that's probably going to be the scariest here is Washington. I went ahead and I bumped them up to 10.5. Yes, I know it kind of goes against my one principle that I always preach on this show, which is an East team going West or West team going East, especially 2 time zones. It's very difficult. This really is going against that principle, but the thing kind of comes down to it's a freshman quarterback. Washington, in my opinion, is a very good team. And if you were watching that Ohio State game, while they kind of got smacked, they really held their own there for quite a while, that first half for sure, and then they kind of let it go. But I think Washington's a really good team. They probably, in my opinion, in my personal rankings, I have them in the top 25. Michigan is they're just a very average team in my opinion. And I think Washington is not going to get blown out on the road. So I went ahead and bumped them up to 10.5. And the other one is game that's going to kick off here in about 15 minutes is LSU Vanderbilt. I think that's a very interesting game. Vanderbilt could knock LSU out of the playoff race with this game. They're at home. Now, the earth is on Vanderbilt. And I don't know if you've been noticing on social media, I kind of troll around sometimes. I like to use that For You page. Vanderbilt fans are kind of getting a bit chirpy for what they are, in my opinion, which is a bit strange. And Pavita's, getting he's being pretty chirpy too. LSU has a really good defense, but a just really bad offense. Them at 10 is way overrated, in my opinion. So I went ahead and bumped them up to 7.5, plus 7.5. If LSU wins, it's probably on a field goal in my thought. This game may even go to an overtime, which then, as we just talked about, that key number 7.5, LSU maybe randomly scores and wins the game. I don't know. I don't think they win personally, so we'll see. But those three teams, that's a plus 131 parlay. Put a unit there. The other games, these 3 games right here are the most interesting. And I want to talk about Georgia Tech Duke. You're an ACC, being a Virginia Tech guy. Danny Myers, I can't remember how to say his last name. Duke's head coach. Sorry, I'm blanking on his last name. Manny Diaz. I went dyslexic there. He's a good coach, and there was a lot of hype surrounding Duke, and then they kind of crapped the bed a little earlier on, and they've lost some luster here. But I think the thing you want to really circle here is, if you're watching, is you got Georgia Tech, the ranked team, as an underdog against Duke, and that's just almost a principle play. Is when you see that, you take Duke. You can even look at the spread, or not the spread. Something I like to do that we talk about every now and then is go to Pickett and see how the bet differential is. A lot of people on Duke and not so many on a lot of people on Georgia Tech, not as many on Duke. And then obviously when you're looking at the bet differential, I think it was 40% of the bets. Here, my phone just loaded. So Duke makes up 42% of the bets, but they're making up 55% of the money, which is very favorable. So it means, smart and big money is on Duke. I would be playing them. I think they win that game outright. TCU at home, they just took a pretty bad loss. Baylor is, I don't know. This is going to be a great quarterback matchup. I think TCU wins that game. And this line actually shifted. That's a straight play for me, in my opinion. Houston money line. Willie Fritz is a great coach. He's just a winner. He kind of reminds me of Cignetti, except he's not as mouthy, where Cignetti's like, all I do is win. Google me. Willie Fritz, all he does is win too. The That's a straight play. I'll probably lock that in. I think Houston just wins this game outright. It's not that I think Arizona's bad. I think they're a fine team, but I just think the wrong team is favored in this game. What's your thought? Again, given that you're an ACC kind of guy, what's your thoughts on this Georgia Tech Duke game?
Georgia Tech should have lost to Wake Forest. They got bailed out a couple times.
Yeah.
Of course, number 12, unranked team at home, -3.5.
Yeah.
I guess I might lean Duke.
I don't know that I would take the spread at 3.5. That hook is.
I'm not sure, to be honest, but
yeah. They really want you to. You could take straight 3 on DraftKings, so that is available. But yeah, Georgia Tech kind of just they should have lost to Wake is a good way to put it. Flirting with some losses there that they got away with, and this is a big game for Duke. I think they can still make the championship game as long as they win out. So they really need this. Let's kind of scroll down here quickly. I don't know what to do with Oklahoma, South Carolina. Oklahoma looked like crap last week, even with Materin. Probably wasn't 100% healthy, which is what it is. I was all over Oklahoma. I'll swallow that loss. And I don't even know if Mateer's playing. I didn't follow up on that because I knew I wasn't going to bet. One game though that I'm not a person who takes big spreads. I think Indiana covers this spread wildly. Jonathan Smith is not well liked at Michigan State, and Indiana, as we know, under Cignetti, he's more than willing to run a team up, which he doesn't care. So on the road, I don't even think Aiden? Yeah, Aiden Childs is playing this game. The last 2 games I've briefly watched to Michigan State, it looks like he got a concussion. And I kind of found some Michigan State boards Thursday, and then they were saying the same thing, that they thought Childs had concussions and was kind of weirdly still playing. So I like Indiana cover that spread. I actually locked that in as a straight myself. So that's 3 plays there. And then just to keep this quick, there's a couple more games I want to touch on that I want to get your thoughts on too. This line is very interesting to me, and I don't get it. Texas Tech has crushed every team they have played. I'm pretty sure Levitt's not playing. Maybe he is. I didn't spend any time looking. This is now under 7. Arizona just took a really bad loss last week. They're back at home. Man, I don't know. If you're watching right now, this is a play for me, but maybe double check on the Levitt situation. I just think Texas Tech is so good. They're in my top 4 of my rankings that I do. So I really like them. But the one game that I want to ask you about is maybe one of the bigger games here. 2 bigger games is Tennessee, Alabama. Do you have any thoughts there? I know it's you're not huge in college, but
I thought you were going to say Washington State and Virginia. Virginia controls their destiny to the ACC championship. Of course, that's non-conference, but they have a very legitimate shot at making the playoffs.
They really do. At this point, that's a great question. At this point, who's the 2 teams you think make the ACC championship game?
So Virginia controls their own destiny if they win out.
Yeah.
Somebody else does. Miami needs some help now. Because Louisville lost to Virginia. It might be. Is it Duke that the other second team?
I think it's Duke. No, because Duke's 4-2, but only one of those games. I
saw last night.
Yeah. Go ahead and just tell me about that game a little bit, and while you're doing that, I'll look up the ACC.
I'll look at it too.
Yeah.
You asked about Tennessee and Alabama. I have no idea. Lines up to 9.5. It was 8.5 yesterday.
Yeah,
I figure everybody's betting Crimson Tide at home. Honestly, I have no idea. Maybe that over 59.5, but again, I even have a FanDuel boost for that game, but
yeah,
honestly, probably pass for me.
So right now, Georgia Tech and Virginia are at the top of the conference, 3-0.
It's Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Oh no, shit. We're talking about Georgia Tech 5 minutes ago. Obviously, it's Georgia Tech.
But so does Duke. Duke is also 3-0. This is a monster game. That's a monster game. Louisville's 2-1. Miami's 1-1, but I'm not too worried about them. Their remaining schedule is Stanford, SMU, Syracuse, North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, and then Pittsburgh. So I don't think they're losing another game, personally.
Virginia might be 11-1. Looking at their schedule right now, they absolutely can win out.
Well, if they get past this game, they got North Carolina, who's dead. Cal, surprisingly at 5-2. Wake Forest, they're a chippy team, but they get them at home. They also have to go to Duke, though. So that's
what a game that's going to be.
That's
college football, not college basketball or baseball.
Yeah,
college football.
If Duke wins that game today, that makes that game in late November monstrous. Monstrous.
I don't know who else is playing that day, but that's a college game day potential game.
It really is.
Virginia and Duke for football.
And let's look at Tech's real quick just
and
to see.
Of course, the Hokies in Charlottesville. Virginia has a very, very legitimate chance of being 11-1.
Here, yeah, this is big. This is how big this game is. Because Georgia Tech's remaining schedule is Syracuse at home. They go on the road to North Carolina State. They go to Boston College. Then they get Pitt to end their essentially end their season in conference play. But then they have Georgia at home. But that's a non-conference, so that's whatever. So this is a really big game there. I didn't even realize how big that is. I think it seems like there could be some weird tiebreakers there. Miami's probably going to go 11-1. Georgia Tech looks like they're going to go maybe 11-1 if they lose. So I don't know. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. With the Tennessee-Alabama thing, you're right. It was 8.5 this morning. It's moved up. I'm not entirely – I would take probably Alabama even at the 9.5. I don't really have any good reasons why. Kalen DeBoer still, in my opinion, is kind of coaching for his ass, and Alabama still could make the playoff here as long as they don't lose. This game has actually really gotten out of – this spread has blown up, and I'm not sure why. I mean, again, it's a principle thing. West Coast team traveling east. I just have not been impressed with Notre Dame, and USC has a chance, if they win this game, to kill Notre Dame's playoff hopes, which, God willing, they will do. Notre Dame is not a good team in my mind. I just don't see.
I think it's a gross weather game.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's going to be a
gross weather. A lot.
That's right. It's supposed to. That's right. It's the weather. So which would make sense.
Helps Notre Dame.
Yes, because USC has really struggled to stop the run. Now, last week against Michigan, who is primarily a running team, they crushed the run. They stopped it big time. So I don't know. Maybe they figured something out. At 10.5, man, that seems very. That's something I would be putting in a teaser myself. Put it up to 14.5 or maybe 17, but I don't know. Do you think the real problem you'd have to ask, or question you'd have to ask yourself is what USC did last week against Michigan's rush defense, what they're going to do against Notre Dame? I think they can, personally. Last game I want to talk about that I would be playing, the Holy War. Man, I think that's going to be such a good game. Again, it's the lower ranked team is favored against the higher ranked team, is almost an automatic play. Whittingham's gone on and on about how this is one of the best offensive lines he's had this season. And BYU is doing the same shit they did last year, which was barely escape games. They got a freshman quarterback in Bear Bachmeier, sorry. Should be a great game, though, regardless. I just think Utah clips them. I actually think Utah kind of rolls them, to be honest. So that's something I would throw in there. Great game to watch to end the night on. So I don't know. I just want to throw out some ideas for everyone. Again, I haven't locked in anything too serious other than the plays I gave out. Again, I actually did lock in Houston, live there or at money line. I think they win that straight up. I'd shop around, but as far as I've seen, that seems like the best odds at plus 106. Obviously, Chad, if anyone has saw something different, best odds, let us know. So anything else you want to touch on college before we move?
Actually put in a play as we were talking.
Okay.
4 best MAC teams: Miami, Toledo, Buffalo, and Ohio. I did a little builder version. I just went and took their spreads. It was a little experiment, a little sprinkle.
Little sprinkle? I like it.
4 top MAC teams.
Houston is plus 110 on ESPN Bet, FYI. Just for those. I'd look on BetMGM and Bet365, but what would be the point? I can only bet $1.
That's all I got for college. We got a couple boosts that I don't plan on using.
Yeah.
Ole Miss and Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama. They should be good games to watch, but I don't know how to bet them.
Yeah, I just don't watch as much SEC as I should, to be honest. There's so many.
I don't either anymore, to be honest, because of the NFL.
Yeah,
that's where the money's to be made.
So let's talk about where the real money on this podcast is made.
The NFL. We can start 7:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Rams and Jaguars from London.
Cheerio. Have a spot of tea. Hey, mate.
I'll be up.
I'll be up.
Well, I know you're going to be up, but 9:30 a.m. kickoff should be a good game. Of course, Puka Nakua's out for the Rams. That changes quite a bit in this game.
You know, the Jaguars, I don't know if I would call them fake, but they finally lost last week. I don't know. Fake is maybe again, it doesn't matter what you want to call them. They're all right. Their defense is still good. I think both you and I agree on that fact.
Yeah.
But the Puka Nakua out, I guess, what are your thoughts then with this game? I didn't even see if that moved the spread. I hadn't looked what it was before.
I'm not sure about the look ahead line, but
yeah.
I used to do like Jacksonville in this game. I think it's a little bit weird. They just landed last night in London. The Rams did. They were in Baltimore all week. Of course, they played the Ravens last Sunday, and they practiced in Baltimore all week. And just last night, they traveled to London. I think they would have been much smarter to have traveled on, I don't know, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think that jet lag is going to hit them. Of course, the Jaguars have had a little bit of an advantage the past, I don't know, 5 seasons or so. They play a London game every year.
Yeah, that's almost
after that London trip.
Yeah.
It's been a huge advantage for the Jaguars. I'm actually not sure what their record is straight up or against the spread, but I imagine it's pretty well. They've been in some games that maybe they wouldn't have normally been in. That's given the Jaguars an advantage, that travel advantage. I think that's another advantage for Jacksonville. I don't know why the Rams didn't travel earlier in the week. I think that jet lag could be a little bit significant, especially in the first half. We've seen that. I think the international games are 4-0 to the under first half this season. It was something like that last year too. I mean,
I heard that
games,
too.
You can just blindly bet the first half under.
Yeah, I heard that said too. It was
4-0 this season so far.
Yeah, 4-0. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
And that's not a fluke at all. I mean,
of
course, they're changing everything, traveling across the pond to London.
I don't know how that backs up to last year too. I imagine it's probably very close to that same sort of.
Well, I know it is. I bet a couple of them last year, but
okay.
If you just blindly bet the first half under in these international games, you're going to be way up.
You know, and the other thing,
this hopefully would be the matchup that would not go under. This, on paper, would be a fun matchup. But again, not having Puka Nakua, I think, does change quite a bit for the Rams.
The other thing too is Stafford's health. I thought I remember he's a little banged up right now. I don't know how that plays. Yeah, I mean he's been banged up to start the season, right? So
I don't know. Take a little something before every game now.
Yeah, a little something Vicodin probably.
Yeah, I think it takes a little something every game now just to get right.
Right.
I think he's in quite a bit of pain, but he's playing through it.
Yeah, that guy's a warrior. So
Absolutely.
Do you have any plays here, given, you
We got a
think
touchdown boost for this game.
we
FanDuel
should-
touchdown profit boost. I didn't have to think about that one.
I already know who you went with.
You already know who I went with. Out of principle, Travis Hunter scoring his first touchdown tomorrow.
On the road. Well, however you want to think about that. Road.
Travis Hunter
Anytime.
scoring his first touchdown tomorrow. Plus
310. That's
310.
great odds, actually, to be honest.
And no Puka Nacua. I parlayed him with Devontae Adams. 2 legs. It's cashing. It's gonna be worth waking up for.
Who was the second guy?
Devontae.
Oh, Devontae, yeah. Yes. I mean, that's kind of their only go-to guy.
Especially without Puka now.
Yeah.
Clear red zone threat. I mean, he was with Puka Nacua, but especially without him.
I just there's no one.
One of my favorite players. I'm backing Devontae and Travis Hunter anytime.
Yeah,
2
there's
legs,
just when
you can boost it to plus 800.
When you scroll down the list here, I mean, there's no one on here. You're like, who the fuck's scoring a touchdown for this team? And yeah,
I mean, there's
gotta be
probably
Devontae.
Jordan Whittington, but I'm not betting him.
No, and is he even? He's plus 320. I mean, it could be some
I
weird
mean, that's
guy.
what the value would be for the Rams, but Devontae scoring, Travis Hunter scoring. First touchdown tomorrow in London. Zay Flowers, one of the only times I've catch the first touchdown score. Zay Flowers, when he scored his first touchdown. I think that was it wasn't an international game. I think it might have been in London too, a couple of years ago. Zay Flowers.
Yeah, I think it was an overseas.
One of my favorite bets I've ever won. That Zay Flowers first touchdown score.
Yeah, that's
going to the U.S. for a little while after that. I feel like the same thing might happen to Travis Hunter.
I was trying to look down here.
It's a great matchup for Hunter. His yards and his receptions got bet up a little bit. And that may actually end up betting Travis Hunter yards and or receptions in the play.
The one thing I like about that Devontae touchdown is that he didn't score. He hasn't scored the last 2 games, so you could kind of factor in the he's due situation thing, right? I'm just kind of scrolling down on props.cash on who would even be a guy. The only other guy, man, I just don't know. Like Davis Allen hasn't scored in ages. Tutu Atwell scored 2 games ago, but I don't think that's maybe. Colby Parkinson hasn't scored since last year. But again, he's not a big guy either that I would really be jacked up to put some money on. Travis Hunter, though, he's definitely scoring, in my opinion. You really got to.
Not night, but.
If anything, I'd probably go Davis. If you're trying to get some, you don't want to swallow the juice on Devontae. I don't know. Davis Allen might be. I mean, that'd be.
If you really want a long shot.
Yeah.
Terrence Ferguson plus 1,000.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Well, it's kind of, the only reason I say Davis Allen.
A real lotto right there.
Yeah, it was a lot. This kind of goes back to, Monday when we did the podcast, and I said that, man, what a call out, by the way, that Freiermuth was due. And then that guy just fucking went off.
Yeah, all the tight ends. Thursday was tight end day.
Yeah. So I don't know. I might use my TD boost here. Get a little greedy. Why not? So I think we've maybe killed this one to death. Let's go to the next game. Interesting game here. Eagles and the Vikings. What's your thoughts? Obviously, everyone knows you're an Eagles fan.
I don't like betting the Eagles games. But, man, if you want a narrative, you got a narrative right here. Carson Wentz starting against the Eagles. Granted, he did in 2022, I think, with the Commanders.
Yeah.
But I don't like betting the Eagles games. There's just so much potential in this game, and I'm passing on it, besides a little lotto with Wentz to score and Jalen Hurts to score.
I think the thing that you got to think
plus
about.
Plus 1,000 for Wentz to score against the Eagles.
Yeah.
You got to take a chance there. Plus 1,000.
It should be noted here that Wentz was a full participant in practice, so that's good. which is why I think the line is priced the way that it is personally. Because if he wasn't, you really think JJ is gonna keep it close? I don't think so.
No, definitely not.
No.
I mean, that changes everything.
Yeah.
JJ was playing absolutely take the Eagles.
Yeah. Man,
there's so much potential in this game, but I just can't do it.
No.
There's a lot of angles you can take in this game.
Yeah, this was a game I personally stayed away from. It seems like the bounce back spot for the Eagles, but also the line is very fishy at 2.5. So this was just a stay away game for me. I didn't have any plays here. So the next game here, the Raiders and the Chiefs, I know you got to play with some wildly impressive CLV, I might add. Let's
should have been a 2-unit play.
Should have been.
So I got Rashee Rice at 46.5 receiving yards. I don't know what the best line is now. I think FanDuel's 64.5. It should have been a 2-unit play. I wanted to save the other unit for first quarter, but even the first quarter line is just a little bit higher than I would like. I think it's 16.5. Granted, it probably does go over that, but I want to have another unit for Rashee Rice with the first quarter. And I also want the first drive. FanDuel doesn't have first drive yet. Checking right now, but
yeah, they don't.
At 16.5 first quarter yards.
They don't. Yeah.
I mean, even 10 plus is good odds. You compare it with another leg.
Right.
First quarter.
You know what sucks?
Should have made it a 2-unit play because that was, or even 3-unit play.
Yeah.
46.5. That was 10 yards lower than I was expecting for sure. I was definitely expecting 56.5.